County Veteran Service Officer funded out of county funds. In the state, we have provided supplements to the counties to do that. There is bipartisan guilt. Both Democrats and Republicans have chipped away at the funds that the state provides to the counties to help pay for veteran service officers. Both parties have resulted in a smaller number. We've caused that. So it's something that I haven't supported, and it's something we need. I'd like to see an increased role for the state in. It also goes back to Representative Zoka's point that we need to be very careful about undercutting revenues for the counties, because if we do this great thing for disabled veterans to eliminate their property tax, as Representative Zoka pointed out, that undercuts, that takes away a lot of the money the counties come in, and then they might have to fire a veteran service officer. So it's all weaved together. The state Department of Military and Veterans Affairs does have folks that work on these issues. They're not equipped, of course, to handle the full volume of caseloads statewide either. So there are a couple of ways to go. One, you can lobby your county commission to provide more funding for veteran service officers. You can lobby folks like Representative Zoka and me to also up the amount of money that the state gives to the counties to pay for veteran service officers. That's probably a good start. Make noise. Obviously, what the veteran service officers are doing is in large part bringing federal dollars to North Carolinians in benefits also. So, you know, it's a joke in politics. We sometimes jokingly call federal money free money, which of course we know it's not, but it's money that Representative Zoka and I don't have to cut programs or raise taxes to fund. So it helps bring money to North Carolina that otherwise would go to another state. So yeah.
And if I might add to that, you brought up a good point that you said that the county was unwilling to pay her overtime or to fund it. That and whatever, but the point here, and I'm not throwing stones at the county commissioners, but the fact of the matter is that it's you know, common knowledge that all politics is local. So to get more funding for her, you don't necessarily start at the state level, you might start at the county level. I know in Cumberland County we've got a number of groups that are very active, and we have a much larger population, so maybe it's easier to do that. But sometimes, been my experience, that in more rural counties that don't have, or at least they don't think they have big veteran populations, when in fact they really do, that they just don't know. They just don't know. So you can have an effect in your counties at home by bringing that issue up to county commissioners and asking them for more funding, whatever. I mean, it's got to be on their scope so that they say, yeah, this is a need. And if everybody did that in all 100 counties, and they jointly came to the state through the League of, or the County Commissioners Association, said, look, we need more funding for this. That's how issues like funding get legs and get funding.
So you push from the bottom up.
You got to do both. You got to educate people at the top. I mean, obviously, you know, we know what the deal is, but I mean, but we're the exceptions.
We need help. We need help. Yeah.
But we're exceptions rather to the rule. So we do our best, as well as your organizations, in educating legislators. But at the same time, if it's pushing from the bottom up, county saying this is a valid need, a urgent need that we need down here at counties, then everybody who has a seat in this chamber, and then the one across the way, then they're getting it from two directions. So yeah, it is bottom up as well as top down.
What we need is for our colleagues here in the House to be hearing from their county commissioners, for example, that state funding for veteran service officers is a priority for the counties. Because if they're not calling for it,
if they're not calling for it, it's
Even if you guys gave them the money, they might not put it to that.
well, I think they would, but with our limited resources, if they're asking, if their priority list, the county's priority list that that Cumberland County brings to Representative Zoka, Wake County brings to me, doesn't have state funding for veteran service officers, it's going to have a lot of other important items that help people, and we're only able to do so much. And so if the counties aren't asking for it, it's harder for us to sell our colleagues to go along with it.